This is the new MJX Hypergo 14211 114th radio control 4-wheel drive high-speed off-road truck. And yes, that's a mouthful, but there's even more to learn about this truck simply by looking at the box. You're gonna get a Angry Snail brushless motor, 2 to 3S capable 45 amp ESC, and a steering servo that looks like it has a metal output gear, so maybe metal gears inside. Can't forget about that adjustable gyro either. A 2.4 gigahertz radio to power this thing. Steel gears, oil-filled shocks, and a metal CVDs. So let's open up the box and take a closer look.
Hey, yo!
What you guys know about that box kickflip? Skateboard skills are down, box skills are up. But first, we gotta talk about all the boring stuff. First things first, you are gonna get a manual that goes pretty decently in depth. MJX has been making some decent manuals, tell you how to program it, set it, all that good boring stuff that is important. You are also gonna get this important baggie. It's gonna have your USB style charger, a little 4-way wrench, some Allen keys, and a screwdriver. And you are going to get a complete second set of wheels and tires. Now the tires are the exact same as the ones that are on the truck. You just get white wheels, so you can pick between white and black. I'm not sure which ones look better. Let me know down in the comments below. And of course, the brains of the operation, the remote. We got a stiff foam wheel on there. Trigger's really soft going back, a little stiffer going forward. Basic plastic housing. Looks like it's gonna take 4 AA batteries in the bottom. But my favorite part, yeah, spring assist. No, seriously, a little spring assist in there. That's pretty dope. As for the doodads, we got your power switch, of course. You got a steering throttle trim along with a steering and throttle dual rate. And then you got your channel reverses up here and an LED button. All right, now it's time for the fun stuff. And starting right out, this RC body looks absolutely gorgeous. Now the front bumper and headlights might be a slightly different story, but the overall body lines on this thing look great. You got roof skids, Nerf bars on the side. The back caves down like a traditional short course truck. You got a really heavy duty rear bumper, and that's integrated into a wheelie bar, which is freaking awesome. You don't have to add that on separately. There is driver figures inside. You got a little roll cage, but my favorite part is underneath the truck where that inner body liner / roll cage area actually lines up flush with the sides of the chassis. So it should help with keeping a lot of debris out of the car. And although the headlight shape may not be the greatest thing in the world, there are LEDs in there, so that's a thumbs up in my book. All right, so let's get this body off. And when you pull the body off, you gotta be extra careful because there is your little LED headlight. But like I was saying, this body just looks really good. It seems to be beefed up in all the right spots. Well, that's not a great first impression. Guess we're not gonna be able to do the Derby City trick.
Cool.
Should hold. If it don't hold, we'll just throw some more tape on there.
You guys silly? I'm still gonna send it.
Let's get this battery out of hiding, shall we? It's gonna be a 2S 3000 mAh 25C T-connector LiPo battery. But first, before we take a deeper dive, let's throw this LiPo on the charger and put some AA's in the remote. But back to what you all came for. So taking a closer look on here, you can see it does have those nice metal cap shocks on there. Huge metal CVDs front and rear. Big double braced front bumper, double wishbone suspension, and adjustable rods. Now, it is literally just a piece of threaded rod. Next to that, it is aluminum bell cranks with bearings hiding in there. Metal octagon shaped drive shaft through there. Yeah, octagon, it is not round. Maybe a hexagon, I don't know. It's one of the gons. Above that, we got a huge metal brace going front to back, screwed in on both sides. And it makes this chassis really, really stiff. On the bottom, we do have these suspension holders, which I thought they were metal, but turns out they're just painted plastic, which is a little bit of a bummer. But what is metal is that chassis underneath. Now, moving on to the electronics, first and foremost, at the front of this thing, you do have a adjustable gyro on there. It looks like you're gonna have a pretty good amount of fine tuning on that thing. In true basher fashion, the ESC is screwed down into the chassis, so that sucker's not going anywhere. Only 2 screws to hold the fan onto the hink sink, but it should hold. Now, as cool as this truck really is, there is a couple drawbacks on this guy. Most prominent being this rear suspension. I mean, that thing is already squatting really low, and it's so soft, especially compared to the front of this truck. The front's soft, but not nearly as soft as that rear. The other drawback being these tires. Now, they really did just scale down short course truck tires, so the inner rim is a lot taller than the outer, like a true short course truck tire on a 10th scale. But what that means, especially scaled down to this small of a tire, is you get a really firm tread, especially when you have a tread pattern like this. It wants to be soft in the middle, but it is really firm, and those sidewalls, especially on the inside, are really stiff. It is kind of cool though that these are 12mm hexes. And the nice part about 12mm wheel hexes is even though these are plastic, metal upgrades will be easy to find. Now, before we even get going, we're gonna be doing some wrenching. I'm gonna throw the white wheels on the back to give it a 2-wheel tone look, and then we're gonna have to adjust those threaded shock collars all the way down on this guy. That seems to be much better in that position, so we're just gonna do the other one to match. Ka-chow, that truck is much better now with just a little bit of adjusting. It's amazing what just a few turns will do. The rear end is way better than what it was. Onto the tires. Yeah, there it is, guys. I do really like the look of those white wheels. I'm not a fan of like the wheel shape, but white wheels with that red, oh, that looks good. Black doesn't look too bad in the front with it being white. That's how we're rolling today. We got power. There's the gyro in action at 50% there. Not bad for 2S. Once again, shout out Derby City.
Cool.
Interestingly enough though, guys, this is probably the heaviest small scale RC I've ever dealt with. As you can see, 3 pounds and 3 ounces with the battery in it. That is pretty crazy for a 14th scale vehicle. Now, thankfully to its advantage though, a lot of that weight is down low and it does have a very low center of gravity, even with the roll cage up top. Holy Jesus. I was not expecting this truck to be that fast on 2S out of the box. Had a bee try stinging me right there. I truly did not expect this truck to have that much speed and power on 2S. This is gonna be a fun video. We got rocks stuck in the steering already. There we go, back in action. This truck just drifts around so good. Especially after driving all the monster trucks on the channel, it's nice to have something that just has a little bit lower center of gravity. You can really drift around this thing without too much worry of it flipping over on its lid. Oh no! There's a washer. We must not add that all the way on there. Lost a wheel on this guy. See if we can find the wheel nut. I got the washer. Here's the wheel. That's crazy. It's the first time I've had a wheel fall off an RC car in a while. Oh, here's the hex. There's the hex right there. All right, looks like we're gonna have to find a wheel pin and a nut and see what the heck happened here. So here it is. I'm guessing the nut just wasn't all the way tight and it's my fault. We were able to find the pin with the magnet roller and the tire and hex. It all looks like it's in good shape. Nothing's loose there. So the nut must have just backed off and the wheel came flying off. All right, come over here, get a lock nut. I think we're gonna go with bright blue. It may not match, but it's a locking nut. So be a little bit more secure. Although I think the stock ones were locking nuts too. So a little concern in there. There we go. Full on crank down, making sure no more nuts come loose on this guy. Soft suspension has given us pretty hard chassis slaps. let's see if it can do a backflip on the snowplow. Oh. Nope, front bumper just gets in the way too much. But maybe... Oh, so close. Little bit of a burnout going. Oh no. It just slowed down a lot. That might have been the battery. Might have to top it off. Yep, battery died. So I am noticing something on this little dude. It's only 70 degrees outside. With a fan and heat sink, this motor is so effing warm, I can barely touch it after one battery pack. We did chunk up the rear tires pretty good too. I don't know if that was from the burnout or just running it, but front tires are still pretty decent. Rear tires are getting chunked and blistered. That being said though, the rear tires are a lot softer now. All right guys, new day, same truck, fresh battery. Let's get to bashing. Mega air. The level of hits this truck is taking on this little ramp on the road is absolutely insane, but I think we can go bigger. Holy shit! Oh my God. Okay, to put that in perspective, I'm 5'11". I was about 10 or 15 feet back from that jump and it was head height with me. Absolutely incredible. So we've been driving this truck at 50% gyro. I'm curious what 0 and 100 are like, so we're just gonna crank this down to absolutely nothing, see how it handles for just a minute, and then we're gonna crank it up to 100 and test it again. All right, so here is 0% gyro. Definitely does donuts a lot easier because it's not trying to correct. Wow. Feels really, really different. Almost like how the Black Zon slider and the MJX U4 were just slightly out of control. Kind of the same deal here. Gives you a lot more steering input. So you can definitely tune that down in the transmitter. But I mean, this thing's a donut machine. Woo! Yeah, so you almost need a gyro on this little dude. Especially when you get into the loose terrain like these rocks. It just comes a little bit uncontrollable without the help of the steering assist there. And I think we got another rock stuck in the steering. Next up, we're going 100% gyro. So at 100%, if you want to do straight line speed, this is definitely the way to go. Barely any input in the remote. It's just correcting itself the way it wants to go. However, when you get in the loose gravel, it does okay. but a little bit of more input would be nice. See, just keeps trying to overcorrect once it gets loose, and then you end up doing donuts and everything else. 100's a little bit too much, and 0 goes all willy-nilly crazy, unless that's what you're looking for. I think we're going to tune her back down to 50 and see how much more we can keep beating it up after we go rescue it from the woods. We're back at 50%, and we're going to go try the pipeline and see if it can even make it up, and maybe, just maybe, it'll make it all the way down. As we inch closer to the field entrance, you know what time it is. Rocket update time. We are still in the trees, baby. Repeat, we are still in the trees. Kind of making it through the tall grass. The grass up here on the pipeline still a little tall for a mini RC, but definitely shorter than down there in the field. Oh, whew. Barely made it to the top up there. That was close. Let's see how it does on the way down. Not too bad. Nice. Nice. Now, it is pretty warm today. It's like mid 80s, so doing this more than a few times is gonna absolutely cook that motor. As we found out yesterday, it got hot just under pretty normal running, so being this warm today and in this tall grass is definitely gonna absolutely heat up that motor. But I gotta say, this truck's actually doing pretty good. It actually seems to be doing better than the Mu 4 and the Black Zon slider, believe it or not. Carrying a little bit more speed. Not bad at all. It's pretty smooth. We are full pinning it. It struggles a little bit to get up the hill, especially on the steeper part. But that's kind of to be expected, especially with the little bit taller grass and the tiny little wheels it has. Nice. Buried her under a branch. All right, we did this with the other mini RCs, so it's only fair. Looks like our battery is dead once again. She dead. All right, guys, that's it for the MJX Hypergo 14211 mini short course truck. I think this truck did pretty good. I enjoyed it. It's obviously pretty tough. It took quite the abuse and handled it well. Motor does get warm. Tires not the greatest. Shocks do need adjusting out of the box. This truck is not perfect. And it lost a wheel nut, but I'm pretty sure that was my fault. That being said, we're lucky to live in a time where vehicles like this, the Mu 4, basically all the MJX vehicles, the Black Zon slider, are able to be somewhat decently affordable here in the US, and they're pretty tough, they're pretty quick, and they're a lot of fun. Just 5-6 years ago, those cheap bashers pretty much all sucked. They've came a long way, and I'm sure you guys will enjoy this truck if you do pick one up for yourself. If you already have one, let us know down in the comments below how your experience has been with this. If you are interested in picking one up or need any spare upgrade parts, links will be down in the description below, or you can head directly over to our website at www.nautifarc.com. And remember, keep it naughty.